Welcome everyone to the Sunday meditation course. And for those of you who are joining us on Zoom, and try to make sure that I can see your posture. So for example, try to avoid backlighting. It's good if I can see what you're doing, and that's the whole point really of you joining over Zoom, is that then I'll be able to kind of give you advice. For example, Jacob, you sit very well. Just to suggest some additional improvements, then your shoulders are slightly rounded forwards. This area is closing slightly. In general, what we try to do is broaden the shoulders, and often it's the position of the hands that will help that. So when I put the hands together in equanimity and I draw them back to the navel, it helps me to keep this broad. But you notice that it opens up the heart chakra. So all these postures, these points in the posture, 7-point Vairocana, 5-point Marpa posture, they're all there to help us keep the spine straight and also to keep the chakras open. So that's good. And then also with your head, it's good because it's straight over the top of your spine, but maybe slightly tuck the chin down. It's to open up the back of the neck slightly. I'm just giving you an example of how I might be able to give you advice, helpful advice, if you join over Zoom. So we've completed the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Um, this was a practice that's primarily associated with the Theravada tradition. And now we're moving on to what is generally considered the Tibetan style. It's also common in Zen practice as well. But the 6 words or the 6-line instruction of Tilopa is generally associated with the Mahamudra practice. And really, what we're looking at now is this ability to remain in the present moment. That's what we've all heard about. Right? Sounds like a kind of trite statement. All these teachers, they say, just remain with presence. The truth is, we don't really understand what presence is. And so these instructions are to help us to understand that. What you have to understand is that the instructions themselves are not Mahamudra practice, they are techniques. So I'll have to explain a little bit about this. We're going to spend some time doing this practice. We won't just do it in one day. And the reason why is because we have to kind of identify our mistaken areas of understanding when we try to meditate like this. In general, it's basically remain in the present moment. Don't think about the past, don't invite the future, and don't try to alter the present moment. Just remain undistracted. That's the kind of general instruction we hear. Sounds the same as the Zen instruction. It's what we call the Mahamudra instruction. So there's this 6-line instruction of Tilopa. It is slightly more detailed, but if we look at it, it says, don't recall, don't imagine, don't think, don't examine, don't control, just rest. And when we hear that, it kind of sounds like what we should be doing is basically emptying our mind of all thought. But that is not correct. When it comes to Mahamudra meditation, that's not correct. Because if we try to empty our mind, then we are trying to control or change something. This is important to understand. So we're going to look at the first 3 of these instructions. What we'll do is we'll practice them for about a few minutes, and then I'll stop and I will give further commentary so that you have something to think about, and then we'll start again. So the first one is Mino, which kind of means it's often translated as don't recall. The reason why they say don't recall is because you're not supposed to be thinking about the past. The term no, Noah, kind of means to ponder or consider. So, for example, well, what I did then wasn't good, or I should have done that yesterday. It's in that way. It's kind of like considering or pondering the past. It's often what we do in meditation. And it says, don't imagine. The term in Tibetan is misam. Misam kind of means contemplate. But here, the meaning is that you don't kind of imagine what will happen in the future. For example, make plans about the future. So when we're meditating, we're trying to sit in the present moment. And what do we do? Then we kind of imagine what we'll do tomorrow, or we might imagine what the results of our practice will be. Now, the third instruction is misem. Sem is the term for mind, actually. And it's in English, it's often translated as don't think. What it means is don't think about the present moment. Now, really, misem has more the meaning of kind of remain non-conceptual. Don't be conceptual is what it means. So that means it's that when you're in the present moment, for example, if I'm resting, I've an experience of peace or tranquility, then I'm not going to be sitting there thinking, oh, this is a tranquil state. That's conceptualizing a direct experience of what's going on in the present moment. Do you understand that? So we've got don't recall the past, don't imagine the future, don't think about the present moment. So I'll just quickly explain the other three, but we're going to focus on these first three. Next one is miche. So je is to analyze or to investigate. So if you look at something, you wonder how this is made. So what it's asking you to do is not to analyze experience. So often that you hear this, that the Mahamudra teacher will say, where is mind? What is mind? Does it have shape and color, etc.? So we think, well, we're supposed to analyze. And in the Theravadian tradition, they say, look at the elements that the body are made of. Well, in this type of meditation, then we're not to analyze experience. So it's related to thinking about the present moment, but to think about, for example, how is it that thoughts arise? It says to leave that alone. And then there's the fifth one is migom. Now, gom is the term we use for meditation, but actually it means cultivate. But here, especially the meaning in English is often translated as don't control, but also it means don't alter. So, for example, I'm sitting in meditation and I think, ooh, my meditation, I need to be more rested, right? I need to, I need to cultivate tranquility. I mustn't think. That's trying to control or trying to alter. And the final instruction, which is the most difficult, is wrong sar shak, wrong bap. And it means to leave things the way they are. The term wrong bap is just means let things fall as they do. So if you have like a cloth and you drop it, that's wrong bap. You just drop it and leave it where it is. Um, but again, we're not going to get into that in any detail. So we're going to look at these first three about not getting involved with the past, not anticipating the future, and not thinking about the current experience. So what we'll do is we'll say our prayers as usual, and then I'll ring the gong, and we'll meditate for 10 minutes or so. And then I might make another comment, and then we'll start again. We'll do it in that way to try to gain some leverage on what the actual meaning of this practice is. Okay. Oh, glorious, precious fruit Lama, above my head on a lotus moon seat, you care for me with great kindness. Please bestow the cities of body, speech, and mind to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings, to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings, to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings, where the supreme and precious awakening mind has not arisen, may it arise, and once it's arisen, may it not diminish, forever continue to flourish and thrive. I prostrate, make offerings, and confess, rejoice, request, and supplicate, whatever slight merit I gather here, to Buddhahood I dedicate. Regarding the past is gone. There is nothing we can do to alter or change that. Whether meditation went well or not, it makes no difference in the present moment. Let go of the past.
completely let go of the past, but also do not invite the future. Whatever you imagine, it will never turn out the way you thought it would. And besides, if you spend all your time planning and daydreaming about a future that will never come, you will miss the only thing that authentically exists, that is the present moment. be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani be me hum, Om mani
Without exception, be swiftly brought to Buddhahood. I think the audio might have been off there, so hopefully you said the prayers on your own anyway. Thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you next week, and we'll continue on looking at the 6-word instruction. Till next time.